Welcome to the Hello Beautiful podcast. Remember to subscribe, rate, and share today's episode. We are a space of women empowering women, and I'm your host, Samantha Roberto. Today, we're talking to the lovely Stephanie DePeiro, leader of Thunder-based chapter of Army of SASS, talking all things body confidence, self-esteem, and the power of overcoming challenges and releasing stuck emotions through movement and dancing. Stay tuned to hear how you can benefit from moving that body of yours and Stephanie's top 3 tips for living a more aligned, present, and happy life. Let's do it. You've always come across as someone who is confident. So I really want to know, is that something that's natural to you, or is this something that you've had to work on?
I think a little bit of both. I think the confidence comes from, honestly, my family values and just always being able to express myself and feel safe about doing it. At the same time, when you kind of just march to the beat of your own drum, you don't always get, the positive attention. So I think in a way, getting even those naysay and haters have almost as hard as it has been to hear, and that it still is hard to take in and hear, it has fueled me into being even more confident. It has done me wonders to have the people that don't necessarily see me as that strong person and like what I do. It has helped me. It's a weird thing because it's not, no one likes to have people not like them. I even try really hard when actually the coffee shop that we're at, for the longest time, I didn't think some of the baristas liked me. And I made it a point to want them to like me. They're going to see that I'm not just that blonde-haired girl that comes in here with high energy and a smile. They're going to see that there's a little bit more depth to it, and I'm going to make them laugh and I'm going to make them smile. And that's where I love to spend my work days, is in that coffee shop working on my laptop and enjoying the company of anybody that comes around, just like yourself. But I definitely work for it. I work to feel confident. I work to want to express myself in positive ways. And yeah.
Amazing. And it's so true. In life, no matter what you do, there's always going to be the people that love you, but sometimes even a little bit louder, people who want to bring you down. And for you, the project that you're working on that I'm really excited about, Army of SASS, I feel like it goes there, and it goes to the confidence of women on such a deep level. When I hear Army of SASS, I'm just I want to know everything about it. And I'm just I want to be a part of that tribe. I want to be in that army because it's playful.
You are. You are. Every woman is part of the army, whether they know it or not. The name, I think Army of SASS, it was created by CEO Carla Catherwood. So props to her for everything that she has done to bring Army of SASS into my life. But with that said, I do feel like SASS and the Army of SASS has been something that has been part of my life since high school. I feel like I've always been sassy Steph. I listen to everybody always. I'm sponging everything in. At the same time, marching to the beat of her own drum is something that I like to do, but I sponge in everything and everybody's energy. And I just feel like with Army of SASS, it's allowed me to facilitate what I've already been doing my entire life. I'm going to bring up the Spice Girls just because it's funny. And I want to talk about being in high school. And at 14 years old, 15 years old, it wasn't necessarily cool to like the Spice Girls. Like, it was more of something that like either older women loved or really younger girls. And I remember being made fun of in the hallways of high school for loving the Spice Girls. But when I look at them and their message that they were even talking about back then, back in like 1999, I am so happy that I just allowed myself to not care about what other people were thinking. Mm-hmm. And now fast forward years later, we won't say how many years later, but I feel like Army of SASS has that same message that the band Spice Girls was screaming, the girl power, the individuality. You look at 5 of those girls, they all represented different types of women, different types of beautiful women. And that is so important to me because I've had firsthand experience of women in my life that have given up, that have been really, really unhappy. And maybe by looking at them as these examples, it's made me want to fight even harder. And so Army of SASS came into my life when I didn't know if I wanted to dance anymore. Like
you grew up a dancer. Like, I remember you
Yeah, and I did professional work in Toronto.
Yeah.
And I moved back here and had a company, Bounce Productions, like a really long time ago. And people will still say, "You're from Bounce." And I'm like, wow, like I gave that up a long time ago, but thanks for remembering. But I didn't know if I wanted to dance anymore. What am I going to do? I also really was disappointed and hurt by many women in my life. Like, I don't want to say I hated women, but I didn't know if I wanted to dance, and I really wasn't happy about the women that I had in my life. So why I took on a company that involved empowering women in dancing is crazy, but it's what I needed. It's obviously something that I do not regret, and it has allowed me to reignite my love of dance and what that does to your spirit, what that does to your soul, just dance therapy in general, listening to music, moving to music. And it has allowed me to really celebrate all types of women. I have met all types of women. And like, I'm sure I have many more types of women to meet. And just meeting these women has allowed me to feel even more confident in who I am and celebrate who I am, because my job is to celebrate them. Yeah, it's a job, but it comes really naturally when you're seeing these women that have kids, have been divorced, have lost their husbands. Just there's a whole list of things that these women go through, but we get together once a week and we dance.
And you dance.
And we celebrate. And it sounds so goofy and cheesy, but it allows us to just let go. It allows us to work together towards something like a show every 10 weeks, which anybody that's been involved in dance or with musicals know that just the camaraderie and like the energy and the time that goes into that is more important than what will ever even be on stage. Like, that's the fun part, but it's everything that comes with it.
It's the blood, sweat, and tears of the process.
It is. It's the journey of it. And that's something that I've loved. What we've been talking about is the journey. And it's not, and seeing these women struggle with what I'd consider easy dance steps, because I've been doing them forever, not because they're easy, but then seeing them being able to kill it, like to actually just go up there in front of friends and family in bodysuits and booty shorts.
I love it.
Right? Like, it's not normal, but it's my normal, and it's always been my normal to throw on some red lips and throw on your lashes and curl your hair and, you know, shake your booty. And it's fun.
How many women you've helped is just like unbelievable.
Well, you're going to get some tears if you go there, because it's crazy to think of the changes that I've witnessed or that people have shared with me. One woman specifically told me having dance in her life and being able to move her body got her reconnected with her husband, and is the reason she got pregnant. She had been trying forever, and it wasn't really anything other than having her body release some sort of maybe pain or blockage that she was feeling. And I don't think I helped her get pregnant, but I allowed her, I allowed her to maybe tap into some sort of sensuality of being a woman. And yeah, we had a baby together.
I love it. There you go. Just own it. That's like, and it's so true that your body, I believe your body talks to you. But in our society, what we do is like, you don't feel good, you just pop a pill. Or you don't feel good, if you feel something that's uncomfortable, you push it down. And after you push so many layers, one after the other, and push it down, it sort of stems up in different areas of your life. It's like there's that root that isn't serving you. Your body is not allowed to feel and be, and it just causes so much pain on so many other levels. Whereas you go to somewhere like this where there's this safe space where other women are coming together,
super safe, like
encouraging each other and doing this and letting your body move freely with how you want to feel, like how therapeutic that actually is.
Yeah, and feeling like a woman. Like another example is a lady who does a lot of physical training and bodybuilding, and she says that this is her feminine time, where I go boxing and that's like my masculine time. I get to punch things. But it's true. It's you really tap into feeling like the beautiful woman that you are. And when you see these breakthroughs, so our programs are 10 weeks long, and right now we just passed that week 5. So I love week 5 because for the newbies that come into the program, they've ordered their booty shorts and they've now put them on in class, and you've seen this transformation. Women from 18 to even 80. We've had 80-year-olds in our show.
I want to be that 80-year-old. That is amazing.
Right? Like, we all look at like somebody like J-Lo.
Yeah.
She's turning 50 this summer. And I go, no, she isn't. J-Lo's not 50. But just what she represents, and just like, yeah, she's a beautiful woman physically, but she's a dancer, and she's there's something about being a dancer that I think gives you a confidence in your body. And when you're confident in your body, it kind of just helps you be confident in many other ways of your life. Like, you know, we all have days where we have, like, you know, ugly days, and we feel fat today. But if you're feeling fat on a SASS day, you're still putting those booty shorts on, and you're still moving, and you have so many different sizes and ages around you that it's like irrelevant. Like,
it doesn't matter.
It just doesn't matter.
And all of those things, like if we have a fat day or we're having an off day, it's essentially all in our head.
Yeah.
Like, nothing on the exterior really changes, but it's just within your head. It's a mind, body, soul, spirit connection that just, you feel a bit off. So sometimes getting yourself in this environment, I'm sure people go there not feeling fantastic sometimes, but then come out feeling like on top of the world.
Yeah.
Right? So it's going through that process.
Yeah. I don't want to be responsible for people quitting their jobs, but I've had many clients that have changed their lives for the better because they've started to feel so good in what they were doing with Army of SASS that they wanted that to trickle into their everyday life. So, sorry for anybody that, you know, lost an employee, but these women have just bettered their lives. And that's what it's about. Army of SASS the core of it is learning to be the best version of yourself. We're just that program that gives you the tools to do it and allows you to socialize. The thing about this day and age, I mean, for anybody listening to this podcast, you probably do spend a good chunk of your time online and socializing, clicking, liking online. So back in the day, women used to sit around and knit, have tea, there isn't a lot of that anymore, realistically. So having a place where other women can socialize with each other and build friendships with people that they would never even meet other than that it's so beautiful to watch. Like, that's where I am like stupid grateful to be like, why am I a part of this? What have I been like, what did I do to allow me to kind of just lead this and be a part of it and feel it and help others? Like, it's crazy. It's hard to think about. I knew this is where I'd get to in this because it's really hard to like take in. And even, I see people after a show, oh, what you do is so great and amazing. And you kind of, as a professional, you smile, you nod, you say thank you back, but you don't allow it in sometimes because it's scary to feel all that.
The vulnerability.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
Yeah, so.
But by you being vulnerable and even taking the first step of going to the places that you were ready to give up and go in there, it's like, look at what you're creating and look how you're helping other women peel back those layers. Because I almost think life gets busy. Like there's this whole thing that we do, like in our society, at least in North American society, you graduate high school, you go to school, you get a job, hopefully you get married, then the pressure of kids, and it's just like boom, 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 boom. There's this checklist.
White House, picket fence, 2.5 kids.
That's exactly what it is. Like the white picket fence, like that's
yes.
it. And it's like within doing all these you shoulds of society, you can lose yourself. Or have you had a chance to go there and sort of navigate and see what feels right and feels good for you? So it's like, people can feel lost in the layers. You almost feel like you're doing exactly what you should be doing, yet there's something sort of missing and something sort of there that's just not aligned and doesn't feel good. So, I mean...
And grounding yourself. Like we spoke before we started recording, we spoke about meditation. And it's something that has come into my life over the last year, 9 months. And I mean... that has brought in a whole other layer to me. So I'm just happy that I can take my growth and help others because I realized a few years ago once this started that this was going to be a big job for me and it was never going to stop. But it is the best job in the world to learn about yourself and to grow. And if I can just tap in a little bit to an individual and start to make them think about it that way, then they don't have to be scared. And they can run towards those fears or those situations in life that they want to run away from, but even just for a second take time to question, do I really want to give up dance? Do I really hate women? No, I don't. But
where is this? And let me go figure it out.
Let me go figure it out.
Let me go figure it out.
Yeah.
And essentially, like, I like that you brought up meditation. I'm a big advocate of meditation.
Yes.
I'm like serious meditator. I really believe in it. But that's what it is, going there and giving your body the space to be there and to sit there and to bring your mind, like your mind could go off on these tangents, but then bringing it back and just being. But so many people in yoga, actually, one of the hardest parts of yoga for a lot of people is Shavasana, which is the pose at the end where you're laying in corpse pose and you have to lay there and be for 2, 5, 10 minutes. People don't want to go there.
No.
But it's so important because that is where the jewels lie. It's like that is where the life lessons will come and where the work really is.
Yeah. I have, so funny, where people don't want to go there. This comes up, and it just came up last week. And I thought, as a businesswoman, it's funny because we have people come into the program that have crept us online or watched us for almost 2 years before they even step into a class. So I've giggled about it in the past, and then it was said again to me by another client. Like she shared, she's been around since January, and she's like, it took me 2.5 years. And I just was like, wow, the good news there is at least in 2.5 years, I'll have new clients that are watching us now.
You almost have to say that. So, like, for those of you watching.
Yeah, and for those of you listening today, just take your time. We'll be here because it's just, it's a scary thing to step into class. And this specific client has never. So I know for you and I, we've been involved in sports. We were lucky enough that, our families involved us in extracurriculars. Not everybody's that lucky, and not everybody has been part of a team sport or, some sort of organization or club. And for the first time in her life, this woman has joined something.
Wow.
That being Army of SASS. And I'm just like, sweat. Okay. But it's an amazing thing that you're going to be your first experience of being part of a team. Well, you sure picked a freaking good one because that's amazing that we showcase something or we put something out there that allowed this woman who, on top of everything, has lupus, is sick, is dealing with a divorce, has never tried something, and she walked into our class and has literally signed up for everything and loves it.
And just blossom.
Yeah, and it's not easy for her.
Yeah.
She struggles in the sense of just pain, actual physical pain of being there. But that's how much she wants to be there. So I'm saying it, but if I actually take the time to take all of that in, it's so beautiful that it's overwhelming for me.
And it's so much bigger than you. It's like when you feel that,
so much
it's
bigger.
Just so much bigger. And the ripple effect that this avenue or platform can create is just it's massive.
Yes.
I love it. I just want to start dancing right now. I just want to come to one of the classes right now. I have to.
Yes.
I have to definitely drop in.
Yes.
And do that. So, okay, I want to go back to meditation
and we'll find your favorite song if you let me know what's coming. That's the dance we'll do that day or something.
Okay, that's what we're gonna do. We have a deal. I'm gonna be there in all my uncoordinated glory.
Yeah, we like the uncoordinated ones.
Perfect.
Gives us a bigger job.
With a smile on my face and energy intact, so it'll be good. So a big focus on this podcast for me and my audience is mindfulness and is mindset and all of that, everything that comes with awareness.
Yes.
So what are some of your personal rituals that you do to help keep yourself aligned amidst all the chaos and everything?
Aside from dancing.
Because
I do other things. Yeah. So one of the things for me, it's funny you brought up awareness because I literally just wrote down over the last month the 3 things I have been doing daily. Okay. One is grounding myself. So I love nature, I love animals, I love sunshine, I love rain. But I found that I was forgetting to actually take a moment and ground myself and be one with the world, with the universe, and just my own version, because I think everybody has their own version of meditation, but mine is to sit on the floor, if it is a nice day, on my lawn, and I probably look like that crazy blonde to my neighbors, but again, I do not care. And just to breathe. I think breathing is something we take for granted and we don't think about. And I've noticed that I tend to chest breathe versus lung breathe. So for me, doing that daily and taking in deep breaths and just being low, like low on the floor, low to the ground, really helps me personally feel grounded. Sometimes it's for 5 minutes. Sometimes it's for 15, even an hour. I'll sit there and just my own quiet time. So that's number 1. Number 2 is you brought up awareness and being aware, because being aware is different than okay, that's the problem. How am I going to fix it? You might not have the answers right away. You might not have them for a long time. But if there's things in your life that aren't really fitting, being aware of those things is number one. And reminding yourself, okay, yes, I am doing that, or that doesn't feel right, or how I feel when I'm around that certain person. Why do I feel like that? And figuring out just the awareness of it. So usually that comes with no answers right away, but those answers creep up when the answer presents itself. Like, I don't go screaming for the answer anymore, which has been a big change for me, because you just want to know answers. You want to get better. You want to go to the next stage of your life, and it's like not that easy.
But you have awareness to the questions. You have
yes.
You're like, okay, this feels off.
I don't want to say the awareness to the problems, because they're not even problems, but yeah.
Just awareness to a moment of how you're
feeling.
How you're feeling.
1000%.
Which ties
yes.
into the dance piece and everything, and moving your body and listening to your body and allowing it to speak to you in a sense.
Yeah.
So saying, okay, well, this feels really good, or this doesn't, and having awareness to that.
Yeah.
Maybe not knowing why, but those, like you said, those pieces will come up once you can actually be aware of the physical sensations.
Yes.
So it's number 3.
Number 3 is doing something not for myself. That's big for me. Whether that's, dropping some change for somebody for coffee, or going to a shelter and just spending time. Again, that brings me back to animals. I mean, I'd have a zoo in my house if I could. But, even just taking the time and acknowledging something, especially the people around you. You take your family for granted. You take your sister, brother, husbands for granted. And maybe they're not necessarily doing things that you want them to do. But taking the time of acknowledging them is, I feel, doing something for somebody else. Like, you have your husband clean the house. Might not be the way you clean it, but if you say something like, oh, you know what, it smells so nice in here, it looks so great, thank you. Try it, because the smile that will bring on somebody's face is like, think about if that was said to you, right? So I find a way of doing something for somebody, even if it's super small. I like my new space. I like saying hi to my new neighbors. And I feel like, that used to surprise them. Like, who's this new dancer chick? Why does she need to say hi to us? But like, I make it a point when I do have the time to just even say hi to somebody, or smile, or have a conversation. I feel like seeing somebody smile and just like take them out of their like you said, their everyday is like, I think that's why we connected, right? Like, can I sit here? It was like, I won the lottery. I was like, a friend, somebody to sit with me. I knew who you were, obviously, but I was like, yes, you can. Because people don't do that.
Yeah. And that's one thing.
People don't want to sit beside people that they don't really know.
Well, and the reason why is because we create in our heads, it's the same story that you were thinking at the coffee shop, like the baristas don't like me. Like, that is not true at all, but we create that in our heads.
know.
We live in this like drama, like this thing of the world versus us, whereas we are all in this together.
Yeah.
And the minute that we can sort of look at it and drop those barriers, life can start to happen a lot more smoothly and a lot more beautifully, whether it's good or bad, because you sort of look at it as neutral. It is the way it is. So
but yeah, like, people want to be heard, and I don't think people get heard enough. I have a platform where you'll see when you come to my class, like, it isn't I swear it isn't just a dance class, it's a Steph DePeiro comedy hour. Yeah. So not a lot of people get heard ever. Like, even if it's the smallest thing that they want to just share a little tidbit.
It's a light within them that's sort of dimmed right down. but it's still there, you know?
Well, what taps in really nicely is like the mindfulness and through yoga. So for me, I'm really physically in touch with my body. Like right now or at any given time, I can tell you how every single joint in my body is feeling, because I'm just really tapped into my body. So when those people have had so much time of suppressing, for me, it's like I get physically ill because my chakras feel so unbelievably like tight or painful. They're probably living with those pains that they're unaware of, because I'm grateful that I can be really physically aware where a lot of people aren't. And that's not a bad thing, but I think it's a superpower for those of us that are physically in touch with our bodies, that we can remind ourselves what kind of healing we need. And, even me going, okay, what are I'm going to make sure I ground myself. I'm going to become more aware. I'm going to go back to doing that. And what else do I need to do? Okay, you know what? I'm going to acknowledge other people and what they need, or, just bring a little smile to their face. But it's because also I've done the work to get there too. So yeah, I kind of rambled there. I'm sorry.
Not at all. And for anybody wondering, chakras are the energy sources. They're energy wheels, and we have 7 of them throughout our body, and each one it's a sort of like a force of energy that represents different elements of the body. And I imagine Army of SASS would be the second chakra. It'd be very much in the sensual, sexual, sacral.
Yes.
Sacral chakra.
Right down, right there.
So
yes.
What would because you've dealt with so many different women on this level, for anybody listening who is in Thunder Bay or in a city where they offer the Army of SASS, like you need to get there.
26 locations.
26 locations across North America.
Across North America.
And growing. I mean, it's a very powerful.
Yeah, we want to take over the world.
I love it. Please do, because it's fun and playful. But for anybody who's not in a city where they offer, it yet, what would be your tips for tapping into that confident, empowered, sensual side? Do you have anything that comes to mind? Little things you do or could do. Is it putting on the lipstick? Is it mirror talk? Is it?
Yes, those two for sure. I mean, everybody loves a good lipstick, and for anybody listening, do not shy away from a strong red or a strong pink. Slap it on and go for coffee. You might get a couple looks, but rock that lipstick. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to go back to dance on that, which is blast music, jump around like a monkey, put on your favorite. Do you remember when Much Music used to play Much Music Countdown? But put on your favorite music video of all time and just jump around like a goofball. Do it with friends if you want, but do it yourself. I dance in my own kitchen. I think there's so much power in just movement and freedom, and you don't have to be doing technical dance moves or, a perfect turn or a perfect kick. It's really not about that. I think there's so much healing that comes with music, but with just movement. Just move around.
Even in your car, I guess, turn
okay,
off the radio.
So we talk about that at Army Assassin. We call it choreography.
Choreography. Okay, yeah. I love it. This is new to me. Yes. I'm really going to take it.
Which a lot of people do, but I love catching people at a red light that are moving. You're going to get a thumbs up from me, because it is let just music take over and be that little, Army SS is open to boys too. If you're willing to strap on a pair of heels and rock it just as hard as we do, come through our doors, because we have quite a few men across North America that are there. But go back to that playful side where you don't care. So I think that's something that I decided in high school when those girls were making fun of me for liking Spice Girls. I just didn't care. because I just loved what they represented, and I just enjoyed dancing to their music at the time. So I think it's not caring about the things that really don't matter, like jumping around to music in your own home. And no one's gonna care.
Exactly. No one's gonna, and you're gonna just feel so much better, and that energy is something within you will shift, and it will radiate off of you, and people will feel it.
Yes.
Like the more that you tap into that, your energy will shift.
Yeah.
And even if you get caught in choreography, you know, you kind of want to stop, and you all have this moment of, I don't know if it's shame or what it would be, but like kind of like
embarrassment.
But then who cares?
And everyone do choreography, and if you don't want to do it yourself, just give those thumbs up to the people you catch, because it's the best.
A thumbs up and a smile. So if you're in your car listening right now, just like if you catch eyes the people beside you, thumbs up and smile. And everybody wants to be that person at a party who just doesn't care.
And I've always prided myself on, like, give me a good glass or bottle of vino and I'm there. But I've always prided myself of being the girl that doesn't need to be drinking to have fun. I can get there way before that. But yeah, I think when we think of like ourselves as kids, there was such a freedom because we didn't have everyday stresses that played in. And I feel like dance and what I do with Army of SASS still allows me to be that girl that's free. And I think that's what we bring people more than anything.
Curious. Just a completely random question. I don't know if this will be to wrap it up, but going back to Spice Girls. So which Spice Girl were you or are you? Who are you, Stephanie?
Well, I'd like to think that I'm just as cool as Posh, but can we all be as cool as Posh? Right. But I was Ginger. She was the leader. Yeah. She was the best.
She had this, like, for me, like, Ginger represented this, like, fiery, bold, almost like sex appeal too, which is a really, like, awesome thing, because within our society, that, like, Victorian, because we you know, the Victorian era that kind of came down through our culture, it's like women should be proper and ladies, and, you know, whereas Ginger sort of represented that rebel of just, like, not caring.
And I think that's why I related to her, right? I was the rebel in a sense. And I just really liked how you go back and you watch every interview and she would just drop that girl power. And I think it was the beginning of what we're now seeing 20 years later with women too. Like, you know, we don't owe it all to the Spice Girls. There's many women that came before, but it was such a significant turning point in my life to be able to just get lost with that band. And I was devastated when she left. I cried on my bed. Like, you could edit this out if you want. I'm pretty sure, being a Catholic girl, I prayed on my rosary at the time. Like, oh my God. But like, it was, it's really helped me have like a value over just in my own world of being like, no, you can be who you are. If one day you want to be Ginger Spice, be Ginger Spice. If the next day you want to put your hair in pigtails and be Baby Spice, that's an alter ego that you have too. You want to put on a black cocktail dress and, you know, stick your leg out and be a little flirty and sassy, well, then there's Posh right there. And then there's Scary. You're not going to, you know, mess with her. And then there's the sporty in all of us that, you know, likes going boxing and punching stuff.
Just like that, like, that energy of just I love it. Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Oh my goodness, thank you. So fun. This has been such a great thing to just be able to even express and get off my chest. So thank you for giving me a platform to do it. Can we do an Army of SASS cheer? Do you want to do the Army of SASS cheer? Yeah, I would love to end this on an Army of SASS cheer. Okay, so you repeat after me. Okay. I am a classy woman. A classy woman. I am a confident woman. A confident woman. And we are Army of SASS. Army of SASS. And on that note,
Thank you so much, Steph DePeiro.
Yes.
This is so cool. And if anybody wants to reach out to you or get a hold of you or anyone in the Army, where can they do that?
www.armyofsass.com. And you can check me out too at Steph DePeiro.
Thanks again for listening. And I want to know, what Spice Girl would you be? I'll post where you can find Stephanie and a link to AOS in the show notes. Remember, there's 26 locations across North America, and it's growing so fast. So if you're feeling like it's time to reconnect to your body and that sensual side, let this be the nudge from the universe to sign up for that class and just do it. I'm actually going to take this opportunity here to challenge you, and within the next day, I want you to choose your all-time favorite song and blast it in your living room, your bedroom, or even your car, and move to that music. Then once you've done it, put that dancing emoji in the comments. If you've enjoyed this episode or think there's someone you know who could benefit from hearing this message, pay it forward. Please rate and share, and remember to subscribe to hear more inspiring stories from other women just like you. We're all in this together, so let's do our parts to be the kindest versions of ourselves. Let's make this world a better place. Keep being you, be beautiful. Until next time.